Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Alright, so you guys may have seen that I've made earlier videos on personal development, how you can set goals for yourself, and how you can define a longer term vision, and then how you can capture ideas as well as have active items that you are pursuing every day to get closer to your goals. Now, part of that I spoke in last video was about like you can take mindset notes and different things like that. And today I want to make a quick video focusing on uh, if you have a focus on relationship, okay? And I do have several clients that I deal with relationship issues. One of the things I've realized is that we can always have a dialogue, a chat, discuss mindset, discuss a plan to move forward, but unless it is implemented, it does not work. And I try to be very cautious about who I give my time to, and at the same time I want to have the tools available for people who want to have self-help. So one of the things that I require my clients to do, or to give as a tool for people who want to do go through self-help, is to use a system where they are actually focused on it on a daily basis, right? So especially if things are getting worse, or if things have gotten to a state that it is already problematic, it's very important to focus and to really improve the situation. Now, so what I typically require is people to copy this board. How you copy a board is something that I think I usually send instructions to, but for those people who I'm not coaching, you will see the instructions on how to copy the board in the video description as well. Now, once you have copied the board, you have several options, right? You can have one board where you're tracking your personal development as well, and you may have it as a private board, or you may have it shared with your coach. And you can have a section, as you can see here, on relationship within the same board, right? And then you can share the same board with your husband or wife as well, if they're involved in proactive improvements. Or you can keep your personal development separate and have a board just for relationship focus, and you can have that discussion with your and have it shared with your coach, or not shared with your coach, and have it shared with your spouse, or not have it shared with your spouse, right? Sometimes I have clients who do not have spouses that are proactively participating. Even if that's the case, you can still use the same system and be more clear about what's happening. Give the relationship your best, be assertive about your needs, and be clear about what is it that you need. And then if things don't work out, you at least have a case that, look, I did my best. So anyways, the point is that there could be a variety of things. You can do it with a coach, without a coach, having it shared with a husband, or without with your spouse, or without sharing it with your spouse. Okay, so you have a whole bunch of different options. So I'm gonna describe it, the few cards that I suggest people use. If the spouse is not participating, their cards can just be deleted, or they would just not be part of your board. Okay, let me just go ahead and actually label it. Labeling is quite easy. So this is basically in the category of family. Okay, so I think that would be. So it's quite easy. Let me give you a shortcut. Trello has a lot of shortcuts. So you just take your mouse on the card. That's not 5, not 6. Okay, so maybe I'm just trying to figure out what's the number. Oops. Really? Okay, so what is the number for family? Family should be what? Okay. Alright, sorry, let me just figure this out quickly. 7 is no. Okay. What about 8? Nope. What about 9? Yeah, so 9. Okay, so it just happens to be in my 9. So I just take the mouse, I press the 9 key, it's coming up. So all items could be like, family items. Oh, by the way, this can also be used if you have if you want to focus on your relationship with a sibling, with a parent, and so on and so forth, right? So that's not an issue. But in general, that's what I'm using for, okay? All right, so here's what you need to do. Once you've copied the board, I want you guys to have two identities, right? A name that represents the best side of your husband. Okay, that could be the name that you may want to call them, when you're super happy with them. and a name that is kind of representing not so appreciated side, right? So you can distinguish that, look, at the end of the day, it's a person, he or she has great qualities, and they also has, qualities that you do not appreciate, but they're not made up of, negative behavior all the time. So you do want to differentiate that. Okay, so have two names for husband, two names for wife. Okay, and wherever I'm saying best name, just replace that name. When I'm saying, not so best name, replace that name. Okay, so you will change that card, modify it to be personalize it. Okay, and each day I want you to go in, click the card, and under the comment, add what is it that you appreciated about the person. Okay, so try to be appreciative, not just all about expectation, but appreciate the person, even if it's a small thing. Please write it down and you will feel great, right? The person who is appreciating, you will actually be more thankful to Allah, and you will appreciate your life. So it's important to look for little things. Don't take things for granted. Likewise, the spouse would do the same thing. Okay, and then at the same time, I also want couple to have, at least once a week or even daily times where it's husband time. They're spending time together, but it's husband time. So they might be doing an activity that the husband prefers, right? And at the same time, you want to do like the same thing, an activity that you're doing daily or weekly, that is wife time, right? So this is wife time, and this is husband time, right? So it could be a weekly thing or a daily thing, right? So whatever each, you have to select that activity. So whatever that activity is, put it in the description here, okay? And specify how frequently would you do that. And in that card, you actually want to go in and update the card whenever you have that activity. So when you're having that, follow-up session with your coach, or even you reviewing it at the end of the week, you will see that, who is meeting the needs and who is not, okay? Then at the end of the day, you have some things that you want to do at weekly, right? So weekly, you want to go and take a review, right? And you will be putting in your review, note the positive, request one or two things that you want your spouse to improve. And I want you to rate, put a score on how respected you feel, how loved you feel, and how growth you feel the relationship had, and how adventure/fun you felt. Right now, everybody's needs are different, right? So if all your needs are being met on that category, you can put 9. If they're being met above your need, then put 10. Okay, so 9 represents that your needs are being met. So don't think it as an absolute thing. It's a relative thing based on your needs. So 9 is the bare minimum that you need to be satisfied. Okay. Likewise, the husband would do the same thing. Now, for things that are conflicts, right? So there's certain things that are, is a conflict. So it could be regarding children, it could be regarding in-laws, it could be regarding finances, whatever it is, right? I don't want you to, discuss that all the time, right? And this is something that's very important, right? So what would happen is, like, husband would come home or the wife would come home and they see each other and they start talking about negative things. So that's why they don't want to spend time together. What you can do is postpone those things to maybe an hour a week that you will discuss those tough things. And when you're doing that, the idea is not to debate, but to understand the concerns that the other party have and to discuss that. So you can use that, so if something bothers you during the day or night, it's not urgent, just write it down here. You can capture it here in this list, just add an item, right? And then at the end of the week, prioritize that list and only talk about 1 or 2 items so that you're not always fighting or, having debates and what have you. So yeah, so this is what I would do, to try to do that, and let's see how things go. Love to hear your feedback if you have any, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make it easy. Obviously, don't forget the power of dua. Don't forget the power of connecting and rectifying your own relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the best. ربنا هب لنا من لدنك ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا من لدن وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Allah make our spouses and our children, comfort of our eyes, and make us the leaders of the pious ones, right? And make Quran the joy of our hearts, the spring of our hearts, and to guide us with Quran. Until next time, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.